Hi guys, so today I'm going to be filming my September reading journal setup, as well as I'm going to kind of do a wrap up of the books that I've read in August. I did not do this for July because I was originally going to do a video dedicated to my reading journal wrap up for July, but I realized I don't really show my face. I don't have physical copies of the books to kind of show you guys, and I didn't feel like covering up all of my journaling that I did for the books that I read. So what I'm going to do instead is, from here on out, I'm going to be setting up the new month with you guys while talking about last month's books. It'll just be a little bit brief, kind of talking about what I liked. I'm going to try and see if I can put an image of the books on one side when I'm talking about them. Just a small one, so not to cover up what I'm doing, but so that you guys know what book I'm actually talking about. That way, if you are interested in checking out any of the books that I've read, you can find them at your local library or purchase them, whatever you choose to do. I'll also see if I can link my Goodreads down below, so that way if you want any more information about what I've read in the past, because I do think I have all of 2021 books that I've read, because I only started doing Goodreads like a few months ago, probably when I started this journal, I think, actually. But yeah, I am going to try and link that down below for you guys so you can see more of what I read. If you guys are new to my channel, hello, welcome. My name is Aaliyah. I go by AJ Plans on Instagram. I've noticed I usually forget to introduce myself in my videos, but there you go. My name is Aaliyah, not AJ, but I do respond to both. What else was I gonna say? I am new to the whole reading journal thing. My reading journal setups are extremely simple. If you want to see something a little bit more elaborate, definitely go check out CeeLo's Bookish Plans. She actually inspired me to start a reading journal. I'll have her channel linked up in the iCard so that you can check her out. She makes a lot of reading content, actually, more than planning. So she does like the Fairy Loot unboxings and those books. She has a lot of wrap-ups and reading vlogs and things like that. So if you're interested in the reading journal content or reading book community on YouTube, definitely go check her out. And I will have her Instagram down below. It's just CeeLo's Bookish Plans. If you want to follow her so you can see any more of her content. So the supplies that I have these 3 Crayola Super Tips. I have this orange color that I've labeled as 19, this green color that is number 88 that I've labeled it as, and this burgundy-ish color, because I felt like these are kind of like transitioning kind of fall colors, so that's what I wanted to use for this month. These will be for writing, and this will be for headers since this is a lot lighter than these two. What else do I have? I have this washi from the Aesthetic Studio that I have here. I will have her shop linked below. I am an ambassador with her, so if you use my code Aaliyah10 on a purchase of $10 or more, you can get 10% off. I got a bunch of these washis. She actually just had a huge sale, so I don't know how much is left, but if you are interested, you should definitely check her out. I think this is the vintage florals or vintage flowers, something like that. So that is what this is. Then I have some sticker sheets. This is from Desk of Sandra. She'll also be linked below. And these are an older sheet that I got. These are like her florals, which don't really fit my color scheme, but I will happily use them. And then, vintage flowers. So this sticker sheet is actually what inspired this washi strip. So I'm going to be using these on my cover page, which I'll do afterwards since it's a little bit more intense, and I'll probably speed through it a little bit, maybe not talk through. Lastly, I have these 2 stickers that I'm going to use on my cover page as well. These are from a recollections book. This one is a quote from Nelson Mandela that says, "It always seems impossible until it's done," which I think is very fitting for a reading journal. I am an avid reader, but sometimes there are a few books that take a lot longer to read and it seems like you're never going to finish, but then you finish it. I think that quote is very suiting. And then I did bring in this purple sticker as well so that I can kind of use some of the Desk of Sandra stickers. So we're gonna get into it. I'm not really gonna explain what I'm doing. Basically, what I'm gonna be doing is I'm going to be following these pencil marks to write in what I have going on here. I'm going to be tracing this calendar with my Papermate Flare in the medium tip, using the dots that I've already drawn out, as well as copying any writing. This, I had picked colors before, so I just wrote down what I was going to use them for so that I could remember. Let me just grab my ruler so that my lines are straight for this. But I am, oops, sorry if you guys are shaking. I'm opening my desk drawer, so you might be jiggling it a little bit. But yeah, I'm going to draw this in and talk about what I've read in the month of August. So the first book I read, I actually started in July. It is the last book in the Matched series, which is called Reached. It is by Ali Condi, I believe, and I read it actually because Lakin, I'm going to do all of the horizontal lines first. Lakin over at Plan with Lakin is, let me zoom you guys in so you can see while I talk. She said on her Instagram that she's a very big fan of that series. She reads it, she said, I believe, every single year at least. So I was like, hey, if Lakin likes it, why don't I give it a real try? I haven't in the past, so I have tried to read it twice, I think. I never got past the first book. This is the first time I've read the whole series through, and basically the gist of it is a dystopian world where everything is controlled by the society. I can't remember the actual name for what they're called. And basically once you are, I think it's 15 or 17, I think it's 17. When you're 17, you get matched with someone who's statistically supposed to be the right person for you. What happens is the girl, Cassia, she gets matched with her best friend. But what happens is when she looks at her match card, she then sees another person's face on it. And not only is it someone else's face, it's actually somebody she knows, another boy in their neighborhood. And as the story progresses, she kind of figures out, like, what is she gonna do? She does notify the authorities, and she's trying to figure out what exactly is the best course of action. In the last book, they have, this is spoilers for the series, so, or actually, I'm gonna try and be as non-spoilery as I can in these, just because I want you guys to enjoy my videos as well. So basically, a lot of stuff happens, and things have kind of gone to shit. Like, you could assume in most dystopian novels, that's kind of how it ends up, but the ending was not too bad. I'm pretty happy that I actually finished it. I would not reread. I think I gave it either a 3 or 4 out of 5. I can't remember right now. But I am glad that I actually read it and figured out what it was about. A lot of people on Goodreads who gave the, what is it called? The reviews said it's very similar to The Giver, almost like a copy and paste of what they had written in The Giver. I've never read The Giver. It wasn't something that was required for school for me, so I never really felt the desire to read it either. But that's what majority of the, oops, this is not straight. Actually, I think the lines are not straight in this book. I mean the dots. This is a Michael's book that I got on, that's like kind of dark there, so I think I want to continue this dark line. This is a book I got from Michael's. I just realized normally I like to put the color first because then it's easier to not get out of the lines, but I forgot this time, so that's fine. I'll do it afterwards. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, this is a Michael's book that I got on clearance, so the dots are kind of not the best, but it works for the most part. So the next book I read after I finished Reached, which is the third match book, as I was saying, I read a book called The Speed of Falling Objects. I believe my sister recommended it to me, and it was pretty good. I feel like it was rushed in a way. So all it is this girl who lost her eye in an accident when she was a kid. Her parents are now divorced, and her father is this big wilderness guy. Think about like Survivor, but it's one guy who's actually a survivalist and then a celebrity and his team. So what happens is the father calls the girl up and he's like, hey, why don't you come join me for the shoot that I'm doing with this really famous, I think he's an actor, this really famous actor. And the girl's like, yes, I want to hang out with my dad, since, as I said, her parents are divorced. She wants to kind of build a relationship with her dad, because she thinks that she's like a burden or something due to the fact that she's not able to do all the things that he enjoys, with the fact that she's missing an eye, and she's now afraid of literally everything due to the accident, which is very fair in my opinion. But yeah, so she ends up going on this trip with her father against her mother's wishes, and the worst you could think of happens is they end up stranded on this island. They don't really know where they are. They don't really have survival gear, and this girl, who is afraid of everything, must now figure out how to survive. Luckily, she doesn't get separated from her father or the team. So the team consists of her father's sound guy, audio guy, wait, that's the same thing, sound and audio, director, the pilot, the famous actor guy, as well as the father's assistant, who's also like a director or something. And I think it's only a couple days, 4 or 5 days, they're stranded there, so that's why it's kind of rushed, because they have to fit in everything that happens within that short amount of time. And basically it's just about how the girl ends up surviving, how she builds a relationship with her father and this famous movie actor. I don't remember if it's like YA or an adult novel, but it's read like a YA for sure if it's not. But yeah, so she also learns a lot about herself in that book, which I think is really interesting. She has a lot of growth being dumped there, essentially, and she's able to figure out who she is as a person, which I found extremely interesting. So I'm going to add in the dots so that I can write in the numbers as well as the days of the week. So the first day, so this is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday is the first day of September. So I'm going to go through and add in these dots. But yeah, I think it was good. The ending wasn't as satisfying as I would hope it would be, just because of the lack of, well, there is closure for sure, but they do leave kind of like an open door to their future, which I wish they would have kind of better closed off, or given some more details as to what their outcome ended up being. But I mean, they do get off the island, so there is that. They do get closure in that way, but there's other stuff between the personal relationships of everyone that don't get closed. The next book I read after that was Then She Was Gone, which my sister also recommended to me. It is an adult novel, and it's about this girl who goes missing when she was 15, and several years later her body is found, and her mother finally gets the closure she needs from her daughter, who is actually her favorite daughter, though she can't really say that since she has other children. But wait, when does the last day of the month end? Okay. Anyway, what else was I saying? Where are those stickers? Here. I'm gonna add in one of these stickers here. And I think 2 over there. I'm gonna use this bluish color one. And I think this other blue one. I'm gonna use, oops, that was my tweezers making noise on my desk. I'm gonna use these on the cover page, like I said, and I'm just gonna write in all of the headers and the numbers. But yeah, so the book Then She Was Gone is about the mother finally getting closure for her daughter's disappearance. She sees that her daughter maybe ran away, got hit by a car or something, died, and whatever happened, right? Then she meets this guy. This guy seems totally perfect for her soulmate after losing her husband to divorce, just because they couldn't really work things out after the daughter disappeared. There was a lot of anger between the two of them, mostly the mother being angry at the father for the daughter's disappearance and how he handled the situation. So then the mother meets this guy. He seems perfect. He has this little daughter. The catch is the daughter reminds the mother of her own daughter, Ellie, who died. So it's split into, I think, 4 parts. So it's between the mother's point of view, solely like her area of life, what she's doing, how she's doing, things like that, and her knowledge of what's happened and the husband. Then it goes into the point of view of the tutor, who was kind of creepy, tutored Ellie right before she disappeared, and how she's all involved in this. Then it goes on to Ellie for a little bit. So there are some points of view in the past of when she was gone before she died. And then it goes on to the father's point of view. I really liked the ending for that one. There was great closure in it. And first of all, what happened to Ellie, and then kind of how all of these other new characters fit into their life. And I think the ending was really good in that way. So I really enjoyed the ending, though the book overall was very, very predictable. Like, just from my summary, which is pretty much what they provided on the back of the book, they don't like get very imaginative. Wow, I don't know why I wrote this so small here. I think it's because I was using my lead pencil and not my slightly thicker pen, but it's fine. I'll just erase the other lines. So I like to put my total books read for the month up there, and then let me flip back so then I can decorate this. Ooh, that bled through a little bit, but that's fine. So this is how I divide up my journaling. I usually do half a page per book. Since I'm not a huge writer, I don't write a lot. I kind of just write the gist of what the book was about, if I liked it, if I didn't, what parts I liked, how it kind of made me feel. So like the next book I read, Illuminate, I just finished it today actually, and the ending made me feel very emotional, so I did write that in my journaling. And there were some other details, obviously, that are spoilery that I'm not going to say, but I put those there as well. Next, I'm going to, I think I'm going to use the orange as this header. And I didn't know if I would actually be using this for a reading journal or for my cover page, so I didn't put a line here, or I didn't draw anything else. So I'm just freehanding everything, and it's coming off the top of my head now. Yeah, so for Illuminate, it is a very, very, very different format than any other book I've ever read. So the entire story, there's no chapters at all. It is just Illuminate, that's it. But then, so what happens is it's set in, I think it's 2575, like very distant future. And it's about how this planet, where they now have human inhabitants. Actually, to be fair, I don't know if they are all human. They never really stated that. Oops, almost ripped that. Do I want to cluster all of these? Nah. So they have the girl, her name is Katie. She is, I'm gonna put this here. Look, I'm being like a bullet journaler, guys. Isn't that so different than my normal style, for those of you who do watch my videos normally? What else was I saying? Oh yeah, so Illuminate. It's about this girl, Katie. She's on the planet Kurza that, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. which gets attacked by this alien fleet. I think I'm gonna pull in another washi and layer it. So I'll show you guys all of my washi I got from the Aesthetic Studio. I got this one, which is Vintage Florals, Lovely Hearts, which I thought could be cool for like Valentine's Day. This one is the Lovely Leaves, which I think I might use, or no, I'm gonna use this one to pull in some more of that orangey color. And then this one is Enchanted Garden, and this one is Abstract Florals, I think. What was I saying? Yes, so she is on the planet. When it blows up, she becomes a refugee, and it is crazy because it's through files that are basically like a dossier of all of the events that happened from the time that the planet blew up until they kind of, what is the word? Can't remember the word that I'm thinking of, guys, but basically once they get rid of the threat of the people who attack them. So what happens in it is there's like different IMs. Katie turns out to be like a coding person. She's really good at hacking and things like that. So she tries to help this other guy fix a lot of the issues that are going on and help them get to where they need to go. And she also gets kind of stuck with her ex-boyfriend, who she literally just broke up with. I think I'm gonna just see if I can move these stickers, actually. Let's move the washi first. And the washi comes up nice and easily, perfect. So she ends up stuck with her ex-boyfriend. They actually end up on 2 different space shuttles, one that is for research and one that is actually a battleship kind of thing. Like they're the ones with all the guns and stuff to save them. So as they're traveling, a whole lot of stuff goes down with the 2 ships. This other ship that also saved people that then gets blown up for unknown reasons. Well, unknown to a lot of the other characters. Obviously, with the dossier, it's a full write-up of what's happened, including private IMs between Katie and the boy whose name is Ezra. As well as IM messages between the 2 ships and the authority on the ships and all of those other important people. So in that, it's a really interesting read. Let me tell you guys, 5 out of 5 stars. Definitely recommend that book. Actually, I think I gave it 4 out of 5 now that I think of it, just because the form of writing is a little bit confusing for people who are maybe not used to it, which I obviously was not. But so as oops, you guys are gonna shake a little bit. Let me see if I can minimize the shaking. Yeah, you guys are still shaking. The story ends where they kind of expose the leader of the group that sent the original ship to blow up this planet, and you kind of understand what she wants out of it. Like I said, it's a very interesting read. A lot of stuff happens. It's a lot of twists and turns and things that you don't really expect, and you're like, is this really happening? And all of the things. It's like a science fiction book, dystopian, and from what I understand, the next couple of books, so it is a trilogy. I think it's like called Illuminae, Gemini, and one other name that I can't really remember right now. But the books do follow different characters, at least the first 2. So the first one is focused on Katie and the ex-boyfriend Ezra. Then the next book is focused on 2 other characters. Don't remember their name. I haven't started that book yet, but I am very interested to see how it progresses, and I will be talking about those other 2 books in my October setup, September wrap-up. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this form of video instead of speeding up and really talking about what I'm doing. I did a little bit of a wrap up. Oops, I actually forgot that I pulled these. So I'm gonna stick this on here. This paper is quite thick. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell how like firm it is, but it is quite thick. I think I'm gonna put this one here. But yeah, so like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and are interested in maybe the books I've read. If you have any other questions or any feedback on this form of video, since it is new to me, I'd love to hear your feedback on whether you liked it, didn't like it. You can hit the like button, dislike button, whichever one's easier. Leave a comment on what you think I could do better for next time. Definitely subscribe if you're interested in seeing my next reading journal plan with me, as well as if you're interested in any of my regular plum paper planner content, which is what I mostly focus on. Definitely subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can check that out. But happy reading and happy planning, guys.